Hello, everyone. This is episode 17, I believe, of this video series that I'm making as a daily intern. Um, I sent a message earlier today talking about how I'm gonna approach my last week here. And it's already Tuesday, which I don't know. It feels like it's going a bit too fast, as much as I wanted it to. But I will take the most I can out of these last few days. So I guess we should start with what happened on a few weeks ago. So let's say around 2 weeks ago. Let's say Wednesday. Um, I think it's the 23rd was probably 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. I met with what's it, Tuesday or Thursday? It might have been Thursday. I take that back. It's Thursday the 24th. Was it? It might one of those 2 days. Either Wednesday or Thursday. I met with Paul Super. He's in charge of the purchase over where we had a board retreat. Um I talked with him for a while. It was supposed to be like only like I planned it for it to be only like 30 minutes, but it lasted until like an hour and 30. We just talked about the purchase and then his career and everything, and just some tips and tricks on how to, approach um school life and everything, really. And he really did have really some good tips, which I'll deeply appreciate, and I'll have it in mind once I'm back to South Carolina. And then after that, me and Zach, we went to the purchase, which I'll be honest, it was so tedious because of the construction that they're doing on I-40. And it was such a mess. We had, like, I want to say, and I'm not exaggerating, like an hour delay. We were stuck in traffic. We were like sitting there waiting for the traffic to even move like an inch, and they wouldn't budge. So like I said, it took us like an hour until we finally made it, and made it out of the I-40 and just made our way up to the purchase. And first impressions, it was actually very, very. It's a very big place, and it's also like a biological station. Really, it's called like Highland Appalachian Science Learning Center, I think is that official name. Um, and yeah, it's I like the view where you can see it. It actually reminds me of like just a porch at Waltz in general. It was like that. It was like so similar. I just got a wave of nostalgia. When I arrived there, and it was just so breathtaking and everything. So I was pretty amazed by that, and it was so beautiful to watch. And then we just like me and the interns and Will, we got there a day early just because of that. And it was pretty exciting. And then we all just like just did our own things. I just did some bird watching around the whole place, and I got to see where the microphone is for the purchase. So if you don't remember, the purchase has its own like Raspberry Pi computer and microphone for bird weather, which I think is still going through the same problems and issues and stuff that I've mentioned in the past. But it was nice to see where it was located, and it is a bit rusty. I want to say it has been wired down, but it's still functioning, and it's on the side where there's a lot of action in terms of bird calls and whatever other stuff. And overall, it was that first day at the purchase was actually pretty good, I must say. And then Friday, I woke up early to see the sunrise, which is what um the purchase is known for the sunrise. And spoiler alert, I woke up like 6:15, 6:30 for all 3 mornings that we've been there. Um, and every single time it never stops amazing me how beautiful the sunrise is, and the surrounding environment, the landscape, and everything. I'll see if I have photos of them and I'll share them. Um, and just being able to like do some Merlin recordings also. And apparently there's like this binder that I didn't know until like Saturday. I think. And there is this binder that helps you record stuff, for example, temperature, ozone layer, something like that, and then humidity, um, cloud overlap, all that stuff. And also, you can just record how many horses you've seen on your way up to the purchase, guests, all that stuff, and then like types of birds that you watched or found or saw, and then butterflies, and then some other stuff, which is interesting because I know birds is like something you see almost every single day. And probably on the top of your mind when you think of like a place like the purchase, but also butterflies has like own separate list, and that's quite actually quite interesting to find out. So for Saturday and Sunday morning, I just sat there and just checked off um birds that I saw, um not only through the morning but throughout the whole day. um and honestly, it was pretty eventful. Honestly, I think there are a few birds that I saw that weren't on the list. For example, yellow warbler, um, and then probably yellow throated. Those weren't on the list that was in that binder, and so just being able to write the name down means that I've actually found something that isn't usually seen. I guess is the best way to put it, really. And it's pretty good feeling, honestly, and it was quite good actually. And then, gosh, what did we do? Oh, at night we did black lighting over the public restrooms and then the lab, I think, beside it, and we found a lot of stuff, but I was mostly focused on the bat detections, as you might know. And oh wait, actually, that reminds me, I actually have a tablet for it. But like I said, I did bat detections on Friday night, and I detected a lot of good stuff. But I'll actually pop up the so thing. What did I do wrong? There we go. The echo meter application. So I'm not sure if this is gonna show well, but as you can see, this is what it looks like. Um, yeah, there's like a bad reflection from there, but I'm hoping you can see it at least. Probably, maybe. But I'll probably do something else to combat this somehow. But as you can see, like you have the spectrogram at the top, and then you just have the little tools at the bottom, and then you just have this whole thing shown throughout. So I actually have no idea how many recordings I have. Um, but the oldest recording that I found in here is like from 2015, and then up to what 2021, and ever since they've stopped using it. Or 2024 actually was probably the closest before I started using it, and then I've just been on the grind, I guess. I've just been recording lots of species. I guess I haven't talked about the species in general actually. So I've been able to record hoary bat, evening bat, tricolored bat, silver-haired. I think I said evening, but if not, I already said it. Townsend's big-eared bat, uh, big brown bat, little brown bat, gray myotis, a gray bat, and then eastern red bat, and then probably one or two more. But just being able to actually record those was very, very exciting and interesting. Oh, and then the Indiana myotis, that's right. That was like, it's an endangered species in the mountain, and not in the mountains, in the Great Smoky Mountains. And so being able to record that was actually a big thing on its own. I mean, yes, it's a bat, but it's also an endangered one, an endangered species in the parks. And getting to record that means that they probably are still here in the purchase, and just knowing that is pretty exciting. Like I said, by itself. So it was a pretty eventful Friday night, and I kind of like the vibe of it. And then I guess throughout midday and stuff, I just did like some other stuff. I think we had Julie and Todd come in. Jamie sadly couldn't make it because her dog Masa was not feeling good. She had to skip out on going to the purchase, and so Masa eventually did recover. He's doing fine, and I'm glad that he recovered. He's going on a steadily recovery, I think, um, based on what Jamie has said. I think today, she came back to the office just for a little spiel. Um, but yeah, they arrived around midday, I want to say, and most of the board members, or half of them, arrived yesterday. We met some of them before, but I'll tell you right now, my favorite board member is probably Sam. I mean, I'm trying to be biased, but I mean, I feel like Sam is he's such a character, dude. Um, he was just like, he was just such a vibe, and I was glad to meet him, you know. But also, all the board members on their own were pretty good. Vesna, Miriam, Julie, all of them. It was great to be part of able to meet some of the board members. So yeah, and I think I'll leave it there for today. Tomorrow's episode is gonna just talk about what has happened yesterday and today, but also Saturday, at the purchase, which was presentation day and the board strategic meeting. So, that's gonna be a very fun episode to talk about and record. So, yeah, I'll just leave it here, and I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. So, hope to see you tomorrow. So, peace.